Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. In this devlog, we're going to be talking about some of the things I've been doing lately, which mostly revolve around reforging a lot of the code, improving a lot of existing mechanics, and fixing a whole slew of problems that were existing with the game beforehand. First off, you're going to notice that this game looks a lot different from the last time. I have been fine-tuning and rethinking a lot of how certain aspects of this game work, and a lot of things are similar, but will be changing. You'll notice that the launcher no longer shoots an orb that gets larger as it travels. This was hugely map dependent, and I decided that it wasn't where I wanted the game to go. So I decided that it could maybe be later introduced into the game somewhere else, but that I would redesign the launcher into what I'm calling right now the Thumper. This is largely the same thing, but it operates more like a grenade launcher. It shoots your grenades out in a forward arc, does a lot of damage on a direct impact with an enemy, otherwise bounces around the map until you make it explode by either switching mods or enabling one. The Thumper comes with two mods, the Stickies and Scorch mod. Stickies will allow you to stick the grenades onto any enemy, therefore guaranteeing you that they will be hit in the explosion, or you can scatter around the environment to set up a trap for enemies. Scorch will allow you to deny an area or a choke point, forcing enemies to walk through it and take a lot of damage. Every single tick they are inside of it, they will take a specified amount of damage, and it's very good for getting rid of weaker enemies and weakening stronger ones. I've also introduced the DMR, or the Designated Marksman Rifle. This weapon is all about precision gunplay and high damage hits. Your initial fire is going to be a basic semi-automatic shot. This does a high amount of damage, about triple the amount the rifle does per shot. It's really great at bursting down enemies and taking down weaker enemies in one shot. The DMR also has two mods. Its first one is called Focused Shot. This allows you to zoom in and then fire a more powerful shot for significant damage. This shot is capable of taking down a lot of targets in the game, although the beefier ones will be able to withstand a little bit more. This is useful because you'll be able to take out targets from much further away due to the zoom-in mechanic. It also has Piercing Shot, which allows you to shoot through multiple targets and even the environment. Basically, if you can figure out where it is, you can shoot it with this mod. In addition to these two weapons, I've also introduced a melee mode, and I've also made some significant improvements to it in the meantime. Melee is not meant to be a weapon, but it is something for you when you have no other choices. It deals about 30 damage right now, but if an enemy is below 35% health, you will instantly take them down with a melee hit. This is much like the glory kill system in Doom, but I don't wish to copy this, as I have my own ideas that I'd like to involve in this. I've also introduced mantling. This allows you to get over ledges and walls in a relatively easy manner. As long as you are close to the top of whatever you're trying to climb, you will be able to just climb it by looking in its direction. It's a little bit buggy right now and slightly unreliable with a few big bugs that I'm trying to squash, but it's very useful in helping you traverse the map, especially when you don't get enough height out of your jump. You'll notice that I've been working on the UI and the user experience. It's been significantly improved, but it's still not where I want it to be. I would say that I am on the second iteration of it, and I would probably like to have a third, fourth, maybe fifth iteration of it. But right now, I'm much happier than I was with it before. There are still a lot of pieces that I need to improve to bring it up to the level that I want it to be, but right now, I've got it figured out and it's coming soon. I've also introduced loadout swapping. You're able to select specifically what you want in your loadout in terms of functions and weapons. The UI isn't the best right now, but I would like to have it improved soon, perhaps even with a drag and drop system. The UI also supports infinite items, so you'll be able to add in new content such as weapons and functions with relative ease as they get added in. I've also added in quite a few enemies, like the Roamer and the Glitch. These enemies are not directly interacting with the player, yet they still create direct interactions with the player that they'll have to deal with. The Roamer deploys mines that explode when a player touches the outer radius or damages the central mine in any way. They also deploy smoke bombs that blanket a small area in a smoke screen, hiding any activities that are lurking behind it. The glitch consists of a single host that spawns additional glitches, which are decoy copies of itself with their own behavior. The glitch doesn't try to attack you directly, but glitches will be chasing after you and shooting their own projectiles at you. The glitch is capable of spawning all remaining copies of its drones in one ability if you get close enough to it, and it'll also have some other interactions later on once I build them in. I have also begun work on a new map called Desert for now. It is very, very early, but I'm building this one with a modular map design system in contrast to my other maps. I was noticing that I had a lot of performance loss on my old maps, and this was because they were largely being built in one piece. I have a goal of achieving high FPS in this game. My rig can handle at least 120 FPS, sometimes 200, and I would like to make this consistent across as many machines as I can. Lastly, and perhaps more interestingly, I've put survival mode in a much more interesting position. It has now become a one life stat grind. The longer you stay alive, the more points you earn, and those points every 60 seconds can be spent on weapon and Nomad upgrades for your mech. These upgrades allow you to increase your damage multipliers, increase the capacity of your weapon, reduce the spread, buy additional ammo, and so much more. This system is going to introduce a lot of things to the game that I'll be very interested to play around with. However, you only get access to these as long as you stay alive. So staying alive for longer will allow you to change your weapon into a more interesting version of itself over time. But the enemies will also get stronger. Every time you upgrade, your enemies do as well. The difficulty multiplier increases their maximum health, so they will get much stronger over time. So that's where my past month or so has been with Nomad. It's in a much more promising state than it was that time ago, but I promise you I am still working on it when I have the time. This is only a hobby, so there's only so much time I can put into it. But I'm very happy with where it's gone in the past month, and I'm so excited to share with you guys another update in a couple of months. I hope by then I'll have some new models to show, better animations, and perhaps the enemies will have an identity that isn't the Unreal Engine 4 mannequin. So that's all I have for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Full patch notes can be found in the description of this video, and they'll cover a lot of things I didn't touch base upon in this video as I didn't deem them important enough to bring up. I hope you're as excited for this project's future as I am. Until next time, folks. Bye-bye.